Libra, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for August 10th through the 16th. My name is Athen. So there is a new update now to the MTZ website. I now have a birth chart calculator that uses the actual size of the constellations. Before I was using the Vedic system, which used the sidereal positions, but it wasn't using the actual size of the constellations because some are smaller, some are larger, and actually Libra is a very small constellation. So a lot of you will probably find, well, at least maybe half of you, that maybe you are a Virgo or maybe you are a Scorpio or something like that. So do check that down in the description. I have a link for that to see where your sun is, where your moon is, and where your ascendant is. Now, I do recommend watching this for your ascendant. So watch that first if you know your time of birth. If you don't know your time of birth, then I recommend your sun and moon both, or whichever one you kind of lean towards, because some of us lean more towards sun, some of us lean more towards moon. And if you are new to my channel, this is of course for Sidereal Astrology, which uses the actual location of the planets in the sky, which is different from tropical astrology, which is most of the stuff online. So do check the description down below for the link to that calculator. All right, so let's go and look at this for you Libras. We've got a new moon taking place this week here on Friday, and it's in that 11th house of yours. So new beginnings shaping up for you, involving either groups, friends, community-related stuff, your ideals, your hopes, your wishes, your visions for the future, income from work. It's a lot of things seen from the 11th house, just like its counterpart, the 5th. It's a lot of different areas, but essentially what it is it's a sort of excitement that we get from giving. And it's usually through, something like work or career, community, something where it's like, or maybe friends, spending time with friends, things like that. So there's a lot of activity here for you. You've got Mercury transiting here. Maybe you're communicating, learning more with those areas of your life or with friends, etc. You're learning more about it in a wisdom sense. Jupiter here is always about that higher wisdom, that higher understanding of things. And then Venus retrograde here is maybe you are reflecting on friendships. Maybe you are reflecting on the people that you know and are connected to or network with. And this is your ruler. So there are some things here that you guys are reflecting on just in general in your overall life. It's a very introverted sort of time for you. So with that, it's important for you guys to go within right now to reflect on this kind of energy, to maybe rework some of the things relating to these ideals or networking type of situations, and that'll be the overall gist. So if you do that, that'll help the energies flow much nicer, so you'll be in tandem with them, and also help these new beginnings, because this new moon is conjuncting up to your ruler. So you guys are coming up to a lot of new beginnings, actually, even though it's not in your first house. It can feel very much like that with it conjuncting up to Venus, your ruler. It can be very transformative too. So that being said, that's Friday, but as we go in towards Friday, the general gist is this 11th house. Now, Monday through Wednesday, Mars is going to be sextiling up to the North Node. So this early part of the week, I do recommend spiritual time, alone time, rest, relaxation, things like that. Maybe even, interestingly, maybe even it's like through your work. So when you guys are working, because you guys have a lot of this motivation energy, I'm sure right now, generally for either legacy, for work, for career, things like that. It's helping you learn more about your spiritual self. It's helping you understand more about who you are on that deep level. And so that's been this North Node transiting your 12th house. And so it's a spiritual time for you. And you may not be feeling this personally, but that's the opening, that's the gateway, which is the eclipsing points of the North Node. So continue to put that energy towards work. That'll be a good way to express that Mars energy too in general, because he'll be because he's not in the best sign, but at least he'll be doing it in the right house, and your guys' energy level should be actually quite high, which is nice. But channeling that into maybe some of these spiritual things, working behind the scenes or whatever, Monday through Wednesday, will help you learn quite a bit about these spiritual things. So that's the early part. Then the middle part, Wednesday and Thursday, the sun will be trining up to Uranus. So here it's been important for you guys to mix up the routine, mix up the health, mix up the work environment, and that can be very supportive actually towards a lot of this networking or whatever, group, friends, working in an organization type of stuff, maybe seeing how you can gain more satisfaction through your work, whatever shifting up for you here in the 11th. because that'll be trending up to the new moon. And Wednesday and Thursday, I think you can certainly see some new insights about that, because you've been releasing some old stuff relating to work and career, or just work and routine and health. Hopefully that can help unlock more of this expansion here of your 11th. And then also on Wednesday and Thursday, Mercury is going to be opposing up to Neptune. So if you're feeling any type of uncertainty or doubt about how things are going with this 11th house matter, it's important here to have faith and express yourself. Create, tap into that stuff. Neptune in the 5th house, it's always a good time to do things like play music, listen to music, anything that's quasi-spiritual and quasi-artistic or self-expressive, especially if you're the one doing it. So what you'll find is that'll be easing this, because Neptune is saying, look, yeah, there's a lot of emphasis here on others. There's a lot of emphasis here on, ideals and things. So it's important for you to tap into self, the emotional self. Here for you, it's emotional, which is creativity. It's pleasure. It's having fun. It's enjoying yourself, being lighthearted. Although you're not seeing all that very, rationally, that's okay. It's intuitive, and you're feeling that guidance there. And that'll help balance out a lot of this 11th house activity for you, and help clear up some things if you are feeling some uncertainty, especially if you're feeling uncertainty about where you're headed, where you're going, which is the Mercury ruling your 9th house. But your guys' Mercury is always very spiritual anyways, because Mercury does rule your 12th. So it's going to depend on your personal charts. But if you are feeling any type of haze, I think anything that is about self-expression will certainly assist in that, to not necessarily help you understand it rationally, but help you feel your way through it, which is what Neptune is showing you in the 5th. So having faith with everything relating to your self-expression, creativity, children, artistry, small business will be important. Then on Friday, we have that new moon, which is new beginnings, about all of this 11th house stuff, whatever it is for you personally. Scoring up to Saturn does suggest that you guys have been stepping into a new sense of responsibility over the past couple of years, and now Saturn is still here. So continuing with this responsible approach and taking that approach to those 11th house networking groups, whatever it is here, organizations, will be an effort. It won't come easy because it's a square, but it can certainly, again, assist these new beginnings, which are new beginnings of you, new beginning of self, and you understanding more about your role in the collective, your role in the ideals and the changes that are happening in the world, etc. So that's Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday, the sun will be conjoining up to Venus, so your ruler will be very close to the planet Earth. So very strong here for you relating and expressing yourself. Stay balanced with that, because again, Venus is retrograde. So and also they are enemies traditionally in Vedic system too, Venus and the sun. So in a balanced way. But I think you guys, since it's your ruler, can be very expressive, can be seeing the enjoyments, seeing the the how you can express yourself in a way that it is still relating and still doing all of this 11th house networking or whatever it is here that you can certainly enjoy over the weekend. But again, staying reflective and being willing to adapt, not making any major decisions, but treating it as a learning process, you can find very, very enjoyable. So that's Saturday and Sunday. Then also over the weekend, Mercury is going to be trending up to Pluto. So all of us are going to be seeing the truth, or at least can be willing to have a very sharp, very deep mind, and this is involving those 11th house for you. So changes there, perhaps being open to change there is very nice. Deep understanding, seeing the truth, and maybe even a changing and clearing of your mind, maybe even of your life path, even, which will be, I think, quite refreshing for you to continue that understanding of these ideals of yours and everything else that's relating to this 11th house. All right, Libra, so have a nice week. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you'd like a personal reading, click the link down below, and I'll talk to you all next time.